An idea for your IA might be to determine biodiversity between two different locations. So perhaps you were doing something where I've seen students in the past, they were looking at two areas, and maybe one area is like near a highway, right? Maybe it's near a street, and the other one is this area that's far away from the highway. And you can try to get a measurement of these two different areas, a measurement of the biodiversity. So how rich is that when we talk about different species? So biodiversity is talking about the health of an ecosystem or an environment, because there are many different types of species. And the higher the biodiversity, represented by the letter D, the higher the biodiversity, the healthier the ecosystem or the environment is. So we're looking for a higher number that we get for this D, which is the diversity index. All right, Mr. Fleming, like, what are you talking about? How do we calculate it? So let's pretend we're looking at location A, and here we have location B. And we're out there and we're counting birds. These are all different types of birds. So we can do location A as an example. So the formula is N, which is the total number of individuals that you count from all the different species, times that number minus 1. So if we're looking at location A, this scientist was out there, or student scientist, and they counted 19 different birds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different species, but 19 different birds. So the first part of our equation would be 19 multiplied by 19 minus 1, which is 18, because I'm a math wizard. And then we're going to divide it by the sum of each individual species times that number minus 1. All right, so let's do this. So the first species we had was the blue jay. So that means we take 3 and we multiply it by 3 minus 1, which is 2. But it's the sum. So then we have to add it to the next species. And the next species is the RB woodpecker, the red-bellied, I think that is. So the red-bellied woodpecker, there's one of those. So that's 1 times 1 minus 1, which is 0. And then we add it to the next species. The next species is the Carolina wren. There's 3 of those. So it's 3 times 3 minus 1, which is 2. And so on. You would complete this until you got to the red-tailed hawk, and then you would divide this number by that number and get your diversity index. So that is how we can measure the richness or the health of an organization, of an environment, using a biodiversity index.